Hello everyone, welcome to Pep and Prep Talks. I'm really excited for this episode because this is the first episode of the new spectrum of Pep and Prep Talks. As we said before in the intro, the host would be Manav for this side of the videos, and our guest for today is Abhishek Bohare. Now, Abhishek works at Idan as a category market manager. Pretty interesting role, right? In this episode, he and Manav are having conversation about what Udan does, what does Abhishek's day look like, what does he do as a category market manager, and more about how has his engineering and MBA background helped him in the long run, and much many more things. To be honest, I think you should go listen to this. And more importantly, I know the episode is pretty long, but personally, when I listened to it, I was like, okay, this is very insightful and fruitful for whoever who wants to know what Udan does, or just in case you really want to work in a startup, how does the culture look like, and even more broader perspective than that, how to like basically transfer from, let's say you're a college student, and how is it like to be working somewhere. So the shift, like from managing your finances to working independently, you have to focus on your work. No one's basically keeping a check on you, etc., etc. All of this is covered in this episode, and I think Abhishek and Manav, like Abhishek explained it really beautifully, and Manav hosted it really well. So I think you should go listen and check it out.
So hi Abhishek, welcome to the podcast. I'm really excited to have you and discuss about lot many cool stuff. But before we go forward, can you just give us a like small introduction? What do you do? What exactly is your role, and where do you work at? So that my audience knows whom we are talking to.
Sure. Thanks, Manav. Thanks for the kind introduction, right? So just give a small view of myself, right? Nothing noteworthy, right? Got a very, what you could say, Indian parents' dream combination of engineering from MB plus MBA, right?
Oh,
That's how it went, right? So I was born and brought up in Gwalior, right? Did my engineering from Indore.
uh-huh.
After that, I went to Institute of Foreign Trade. From there, I'm MBA pass out of 2018, right? After that, I had a stint in Decathlon and OYO, right? And from April 2019, I've been working at Udan, right? It's a B2B e-commerce platform, right? So currently, I work as a category market manager at Udan, right? And my role is a mix of what you could say cross-functional strategy plus sales, right?
Hmm.
We will talk about it more in detail, right? Later, right? So that's of note. A bit about me, hobbies, right? I often try to find out, find ways to make my Sundays very exciting, right? I think probably I found a good thing to do today, right? That's what we. Like to play chess. I'm not a very good player, but I like to play. That's it. That's it. I think that's
Yeah,
enough. We can take it forward.
that is a very good introduction because I have so many questions now. I know what to
Okay.
exactly talk about because it's like the major aim of this podcast is that we want to bring people from different careers and talk to them about their particular jobs so that student trying to figure out what career path to take, that it becomes easier for them to decide. So that's just the major aim. And now I like as you have given introduction, I have so many questions. You started from Decathlon, right?
Yes.
And what was your position there?
So I worked into the swimwear department there, right? So it
Okay.
was retail marketing, right?
Hmm.
So I was based out of Delhi, right? And my basic work was so I had swimwear departments, right? Plus horse riding, right?
Hmm.
So it was to ensure the sales are at optimum level, right? The supplies are being reoriented, right, based on the set. So it was a typical sales role, right? A mix of marketing plus sales, right? And especially about Decathlon, its focus is more on, right? So it's the world's biggest sports retailer, right?
Yeah.
And one of the key components that they have is like the customer satisfaction, right? So if you will ever go to a Decathlon store, right? So I've seen many instances where you will know that the product has been mishandled or misused by the customers, right? But even then, probably they will take it, right? In 98% of cases, they'll take it in the refund or give you a replacement, right? So that's a big learning that I took from there, right? It's customer satisfaction and repeat rates, right?
Hmm.
A lot of time when we talk about business, it's about gaining and gaining, right?
Hmm.
But the real thing comes in when you have that repeat customers, right? A person who has transacted with you once, right? Does it two times, three times, four times, right? So that was it. If I talk about my role there, right? It was branding, in marketing, right? Leading some of the campaigns, right? So you will see Decathlon does do a lot of ad advertising. You must have not seen a lot of ad, right? It's below the BTL advertising that it does it, right? So BTL campaigns, right, making the people aware, right? And it was most about experience marketing, right? Decathlon generally don't ask you to come and purchase something, right? You must have seen if you have gone to ever a store, right? There are separate, areas to play, right, where you can play especially games like football or basketball, right? If you've ever visited a store, right, it's like you come, you experience it, right? You fall in love with the game, you fall in love with the passion, right? And most of the people that you see in the stores, right, apart from the regular retail stores, right, most of them are, right, career professionals in sports. So a lot of people that I work with, some of them were, mountaineers, right, and who were, who scaled some really big peaks, right? A national level player in football, right, basketball, some who plays for cricket, right? So those are the players who are actually playing it, right? So it's like when you go there and you say, "Ki, want myself or my son to, start playing badminton, right, or a tennis, right?" So they don't just, suggest you the highest thing, right? It generally happens in retail, right? They'll suggest you the highest thing, right? 2,000 rupees wala cheez le lo, right? They don't do it, right? They'll suggest you, right? And it becomes an experience marketing there. So
So
that's in effect.
you use the term BTL marketing, right?
Yes.
Can you break it down a little? And I also want to break down, as you said, the experience marketing. So is it like a strategy of Decathlon that will not advertise through other mediums such as social media and TV ads and regular, and will go majorly on building the experience, so that there is a, what you say, people refer Decathlon to other people as well, and they come back for shopping again. Am I getting it right?
Yeah. So the BTL market I talked about, it means below the line marketing, right? So there are two. One is BTL and one is ATL. ATL is like ads and everything, right? BTL is like mail campaigns, trade shows, catalogs, brand promotions, exhibitions, right? Something like that. So if you talked about Decathlon, right? So it's not like that they have a specific curated thing, right? But I think it forms the core of their marketing campaigns, right? So it's a European company based out of France, right? So if you see all of their campaigns in Europe or in Asia, right, or in North America, right, it goes like this. So it's a core part, not like they don't do ATL, right? But like it's a more of a, what you could say, a customer confidence thing. Because see, I'll tell you, in the Indian market when they came in, right, there was a lot of trust deficit, right? It's like you probably bring in a good, right, and it's of an inferior quality, right? A lot of people, face hassles in returning it, right?
Yeah.
So I think when they did the initial research, this is my read, I was not part of when they did the initial research in 13
Yeah,
14.
definitely.
Yeah, so it's like the thing that it was one of the part that they saw that the trust is a very important thing, right? Probably some people will misuse it also, right? You find 10 people who have, genuinely broken a bat and they came back, right? But they believe that 80 to 90% of people are genuinely good, right? They're genuinely rational, not even good. I would use the word rational. Right? So it was more like that. So it creates a big part. It's not like they don't do ATL or something, right? But if it's working fine, right? Why should they do it?
Yeah, definitely. And so you were working as a team member, or you were managing some team at Decathlon? How was it like?
Yeah, so I was a sports sales leader there, right? So it goes like that. There are a set of people, right, who are under the sports sales managers, right? But it's a very, what you could say, it's a different company than a lot of companies that we encounter in India, right? It was very non-manager type of company, right? It was like even my skip managers, right? My skip managers was one of the person from European descent, right? He was European. He had experiences in Russia, right, and other places, and then he was looking after the Indian strategy, right? So, like I would just say, one of the Calo is one of those companies where there's no manager, right? It's like any new member comes in, right? He interacts with everyone. Like I talk about a lot of people who are there are like national or state level, players, right? You cannot have a very hierarchical system there, right? You got my point, na? And it doesn't make sense because see. I'm not against hierarchy, right? Because it worked for a lot of business houses, right? Or for a lot of business groups, right? But if you talk about hierarchy, right, it curtails. I would not say it ends, but it curtails free flow of ideas, right?
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
for example, if you are my manager, right, and I want to come and say that some of the strategy that you are using is wrong, example, right? If I use sir with you, right, it's very difficult to it's very difficult to say, na, ki, sir, you are doing this wrong, right?
Yes, true.
It's very easy to say, ki, Manav, you are doing this wrong, or Abhishek, you are doing this is wrong, right? There's not a very actual thing, right? So all the off managers, the store leaders there, it was not a very, what you could say, a manager, non-manager team, right? It was very collaborative environment. I think of all the companies that I have worked in, right, it was one of the even taking in accounts of some of the experience that my friends have, right, in working in different companies. It was the most open thing, right? Probably it was the reason of one of the European cultures that they have, right? I think they were trying to, descend in, right? But it was not very hierarchical, right? So we never really used things like he's a manager or something. The only thing was your age in the system. How old are you? And it was not like there's someone is at a higher pedestal or lower pedestal, right? It's not like that, right? Obviously there will be hierarchies, right, in reporting, in numbers and projects, right? But
It was
you
more sort
cannot
of
take.
a like team environment rather than a hierarchical environment.
Yeah. It was like the experience, right? So it was just like if someone comes into the store, right? Right from him entering and right from him leaving after billing, right? How to make it more easy for him, right? Not just increase the EPS and sales. Of course, it was a great part, right? Any business can only sustain there, right? But it was like the experience, right? He takes a good experience, tells 4 friends, right? यार वहाँ गए थे अच्छा लगा, right? That is the line, like I told you ना कि वहाँ गए थे अच्छा लगा, right? That they wanted to do.
That is super. So I was reading this book, Blitzscaling, and it's majorly on software companies. But there they talk about the how you can kick in the referral loop so that more and more customers bring more and more customers. So
Yes.
like I have not studied the business concept like you, but I was just like studying that book, and so this concept seems to be similar to that, and it is really exciting that how people can bring more people, and then that just starts like propelling the compounding growth in the business. So exciting stuff, exciting. What was your like this was your first job, Decathlon?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then you moved to Oyo.
Yeah.
So what?
So Oyo had a very small stint, right? It was only just 6 months, right, before I transitioned to Udan. It was an individual contributor role, right?
Okay.
So there was, gaining in more properties, right? So Oyo is like, I think you would know about, right?
Yeah.
It's a hotel chain, right, which contracts hotels, right? So basically 2 things were there. One is like the existing hotels, right, to reduce the churn, right? So there were some problems already in the part of the system, but once the contract were, over, right, or it's like the property don't want to continue, to renegotiate the rates, right, and see if there are some vendor issues, right. One was that, so removing the churning, and secondly gaining more market share, right, contracting more properties, right. This was a short stint, right. It was not a very big stint, so but it was very what you could say, like you talk about the Indian startup system, right? So Decathlon was a MNC, right? Obviously.
Yeah.
But Oyo was like things move crazily fast, right? There you read things like this, like 2x growth, 3x growth in a month, 4x growth in a month, right? I actually saw that things happening, right? It was like a lot of members that I met there, right? The scale, the sheer scale, right? That company, works on, right? It's not easy. It's very, very difficult, right? So I had a very small stint there, right? But of all the people, right, my managers and skip managers there, right, I could see the scale that they were working, and it was an what you could say, like you talk about startup, right? Startup, there's no defined role, right? It's like you cannot say ki this is my work, right? For example, let's just say my work in a startup is contracting the hotel, and your work is making it live, right? Making it ready for guests, for example, right? In startups, I cannot be like this. I have done my work, now it's over to Manav, right? Even if Manav is not willing to work, it's my work to give him a call, right, and tell him ki bhai kar de. You got my point, na?
Yeah.
So there, like you've heard about, na, ki everything is your KPI.
Yes.
Until and unless that activity comes into the fruit flow, right? So that.
And I think that is also necessary because speed is the most important thing for them when startups are growing, right? And so it's like you have a label or a job title, but you necessarily are not bounded to that title when you're working on a startup. Am I getting it right?
Absolutely. See, titles doesn't mean anything, right?
Yeah.
For example, I'll give you an example, right? At Udan, right? We do not have a CEO. I don't know whether there are a lot of people, even the 3 co-founders, right? They often refer to this as co-founders. There's no CEO in Udan, right? So you could see it. Look, there's
I wasn't aware of this. I wasn't.
So
really
there's
aware
no
of this.
CEO in Udan. They are just co-founders. And when the induction happens in Udan, right? It's always like this: ki everyone is an employee of the company. Everyone is a part of a system, right? Big dent that we are trying to make into whatever categories we are working on, right? It's like everyone is working. We want to grow it to a certain level, and in that employees also grow, right? So that's what startups, like you talked about, scales is important, right? Scale is very important for a startup, right? Because see, startups work on scale only, right?
Yeah.
Because when you are doing something which has not been done before, right? So it's a certain new thing, right? So once a basic testing is done in the market and you think the product is decent enough, right? The product can get traction, right? So like you talked about, the scale is like the core of anything. But one important advice here: scale doesn't necessarily just means doing the KPIs. It's like scaling in the right direction, scaling with the right way, not using unethical or unfair or right some other ways, right? So yeah, but skill is massively important.
So your role was what was your exact role at Oyo?
Yeah. My vendor management, right? Talking to
When-
the hotel owners, right?
And
Either signing more properties and also, as a CAM, right? I was a
Okay.
key account manager for if any existing property, right? Owner had any issue, right? Negotiation issue or any other issue, right? So I was the Spock.
so
to solve.
your job till Oyo, I will discuss Udan as well. But till Oyo, your job was more people oriented. You had to talk to people, right? And you had
Yeah.
to interact them on the daily basis and maybe yeah, okay.
Client facing.
Client facing work. Okay, that's the standard term. I wasn't aware of it, but okay, client facing work. So, and most of the people are, you'll see the what happens in engineering. We'll also talk about how you got into MBA and how you did your engineering and then got into MBA. But I want to also discuss that sales role and client facing role or talking to people role is not like sought after by Indian students. I don't know why, because maybe you know better idea, you have a better idea why is it happening or is it happening or not. But when I see in my friend circle, they don't want to work in a role which is client facing. I don't know why there is that tendency. But I talk with a lot of people across different career paths and across different educations what they have taken. But I see general trend that they don't want to, like, sales is not a more sought after job in India, right? But I feel sales is exciting. I tried that when I was freelancing, but I feel that sales is the most exciting job, but people don't feel like that. So why do you think this is the case? And like, is it what is the reality to it?
See, if someone wants to go into sales or not, right? That's his or her, personal choice, right? I would not like to comment on anyone's personal choice, right? I'll just share some of the examples that I have, right? See, client facing is like talking to people, right? Talking to people becomes easy, right? When you do not make any false or hollow promises, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people, when they talk about sales, it's like they will be very fluent. They will speak like, we will give this to client, that to client, right? And then the corresponding meetings becomes toxic, right?
Yeah.
One of the key failures, right? It's not be realistic. What I would say is like, see, is sales good or bad? That depends on an individual's perspective, right? It can be, this logic can apply to anywhere, right? It's like you should play cricket or hockey. It's a question like this, right? You can play anything, whatever you like, whatever excites you, right? Whatever makes you get up from the bed, right? In sales, right, the most important thing, right, if you will see, right, I don't know if data changed now, right, but when I was in MBA, right, you could see that most of the people, right, 70 to 80% of the CEOs that you will find in any company, I don't know if the data changed now, right, were from the people who started their careers as sales.
Yeah, definitely.
See, because so because it's a revenue generating thing.
Yes.
Everything apart from sales is a support function, right?
Yes.
Everything apart from it, right? Everything, the sales is carried on by the money that is, being inputted in the system, right? So when we talk about take the hollow promises, right? And second is scaling, right? While we are scaling, a lot of people in their ambitions or pursuits of whatever you go, so like, I hope that you got the idea what I'm saying, right? So it's like in that of them, it becomes something like this, right? And see, and it also depends on people, right? See, I was someone, right, who always liked talking to people, right? And in sales, that you cannot go in with inherent bias. A lot of people go into sales with inherent bias. For example, if some of you have heard like this, कि it's difficult to that, right? You'll already go with a back foot, right? He's like कि मैं मिलूंगा, client मेरे को दो बातें बोलेगा, right? फिर मैं आ जाऊंगा, right? Don't be like, just go and sit there, na. See, client is like we talked about, 80% of people are rational in the world. So it will clients are also rational, right? You will find exception, but people are rational in the world, right?
Yeah.
So if something is wrong has happened to him, right? You go there, you ask him what issue has happened, probably before you or with you, whoever, right? You try to solve it. Be realist, right? Don't promise him on day one that I'll be like, what you could say, number one in the world, right? From tomorrow, all your issues will go off, right? You cannot be someone like this. Ask him, see, and target the problems that you can solve it. If the client has 10 problems, you start solving by 2, right? Probably then you can solve the next 2 in the next week, right? Something like that. When the client thinks that, this bande ke aane ke baad, or this person, when he has become a Spock of mine or hers, right? Things are moving, right? Even they become a bit amicable, right? So that's the thing, right? See, people don't want to go to, I would say it's inherent bias, right? See, but here comes that again paradox, right? Everyone wants to grow, right?
Yeah.
And 60 to 70% of CEOs come from sales, right?
Yes.
While nobody wants to start their careers in sales, right? And just one final thing, right? See, until and unless you know sales, it becomes very difficult for you to gain leadership positions, right?
Yes.
Because in the leadership positions, right, you can't always be like this, na, ki do this, do that, do this, do that. Many of the times you have to be like, this is done like this. And taking money from someone is the most difficult task in the world.
Yes, definitely, yeah.
I'm not degrading any developer or project management. Some of my best friends and mentors are from there. But the most difficult is taking money from someone, right?
Yeah.
That's the sale. For example, if there's a meeting going on in 10 people, an ops person is sitting, supply person is sitting, sales is sitting, project management, developer, front end executor, everyone, right? Everyone sitting. Just imagine the sales guy stands up and says, I agree with all of your things, but if you go in this strategy, the sales will be zero. Do you want to go ahead? Will anyone say? Everyone will be like, okay, no, you say it, right? That's why sales people generally become leaders, right? Because their revenue, funds everything else, right? So yeah, see, it's a difficult job. There is no doubt. If someone says sales is either not an easy thing, but it's crazily rewarding. You got a point. Now, it again goes to a person's perspective, right?
Yeah.
First of all, how much he or she likes to talk to people. One is that. Secondly, how much he or she can listen. Because client not always knows what's right for him. Client may be, even sometimes saying what you could say, felicical demands, right? Saying things like which are not practical. Just because he's unhappy, he's just venting out. Sometimes you want vents out, right? You let him vent out for 10 minutes. You ask the question again and you'll find out. People don't want to, wait for that 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
But if you go past the 10 minutes, you generate revenue, you generate your KPIs and you go on a leadership. So is sales good or bad? Yeah, no finite answer. It's a, what you could say, a paradox, right?
Like,
but it's like same risk versus reward, like investment banking, right?
Yeah.
You clock in great hours, but you also get your vacations to spend in New York or Latin.
Yeah. So it's like don't have inherent bias. Try it out. See if it suits you. If it does not suit you, don't pursue. If it suits you, then go for it, right?
Yeah. Just one thing I'll add it, right? Don't go because कि मेरे पड़ोस के लड़के को सेल अच्छी नहीं लगती है, मेरे दोस्तों को अच्छी नहीं लगती, right? Try it. You don't like it, leave it. There are 50s of things to do.
Yeah, definitely. And I think we should have different sales podcasts from you, because there is so much I can ask on sales, because I do it on very small scale. I just have few freelancing clients and all. So I have to talk to them regularly. But I think we should definitely have some sales ka entire podcast that we just discuss sales. That would be so cool, because I'm really excited into it. But okay, we'll move forward. So you worked in Oyo and then now you moved to Udaan, right?
Yes.
So, and you did MBA before all of these jobs, or?
Yeah.
Okay, so right after the engineering you did MBA?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll discuss MBA and engineering separately, but first we'll discuss Udaan. Okay, Udaan is unicorn, obviously. Not many people know of it. I was talking to my friend that I'll be having a guest from Udaan, and we are discussing this. So she asked me what is Udaan, and I was like,
Okay.
Udaan. Okay, some people may not know it, but Udaan is like a unicorn, Indian
Yes.
unicorn, one of the biggest startup in Indian ecosystem. So before, can you break down what is Udaan for us? How does Udaan function? What is exactly their business?
Okay. So Udaan is what I could say. Udaan is what you could say, right? Idea like India's answer to Alibaba, right? And a very crass word, right? And you just see the skeleton. It's an ecosystem for retailers, right? The kirana shops, right? The retailers, right? Across the plethora, be it food, FMCG, pharma, lifestyle, clothing, footwear, whatever, right? You can think of, right? Electrical supplies, right? So earlier it is trying to make a very unorganized sector. So it is like how the Indian ecosystem works. Product is manufactured in factories, goes to biggest wholesalers, then it goes to traders, then traders send it to the city's biggest wholesalers, and then they send it to the shops. And everyone adds their own commissions in the supply chain, right?
Yeah.
Everyone adds their own commission, right? What we're trying to do is we are trying to solve it. We are trying to make it digital. For example, earlier it was for example some retailer who's good example, right? You are from which state?
I'm from Maharashtra.
Maharashtra, right? For example, you must know there is a small city or town known by the name Nanded, right?
Yeah.
So let's just say earlier, before there was a person, right, who has a small shop, very small shop in Nanded, right? Generally, he would buy his products from, let's just say, a big supplier or wholesaler who sits in Nanded itself, right?
Yeah.
Or at max, he could buy from someone from Nagpur or Mumbai or Indore, right?
Yeah.
It's very difficult for him to go and buy something made in Lord Calcutta or Chennai or Bangalore, Jaipur or whatever like that. Here we are trying to digitalize it, right? We are trying to see any product, right? Be it manufacturers, very big traders. We're trying to bring everyone them on offline. We're trying to solve that ecosystem. That person can choose sitting wherever from a touch on a smartphone. Everything that is being made by all the big retailers, right? Most of, not all, most of the big retailers, right? In the sense. So it's like what Flipkart is for B2C generally. We're doing it for B2B. We're simplifying it, and also we are solving issues like credit. Getting a credit for running business is very difficult, right? Because the interest rate for low level loans, right? If you're taking from local people, right, it becomes very difficult. Exorbitant high rates, right? So we are solving it for that, right? Udaan is nothing. It's like any retailer can go on the platform and source his or her products, which it sells is to B2C customers from us.
So one thing I noticed that like took all my excitement was that you said Udaan also help for financing of the
Yes.
people on the
Correct.
platform, right? So,
Yeah.
okay. So where does Udaan come in the entire supply chain? Like manufacturers?
We are
and
a
then-
platform. We are a platform. We do not produce anything, right?
Yeah, obviously
Yeah.
you do not produce, but then manufacture like who?
See, I'll
whatever
just give
the-
you a simple example, right? For example, I gave you one example. For example, just give you a simple brief, right? To drill it down. For example, there is a product, right? Let's just say it name X. It is made in a factory in Delhi.
Okay.
The factory owner sells it to a very big wholesaler who sits in Chandni Chowk.
Okay.
Okay. Chandni Chowk seller, sells it to, let's just say, a big retailer who's sitting in Mumbai. Okay. The Mumbai retailer sends it to Nanded wholesaler, and from that Nanded wholesaler, that Nanded shopkeeper takes it, right? Udaan is nothing. That Nanded wholesaler now can open the app and directly see, right, what product is being made in Delhi, what is the pricing of the product. It can directly source it, right? And from our logistics ecosystem, right, we even have our own warehousing capabilities, which we are increasing day by day, right? So we also need to deliver it at very, very low rates, right? Because we have economies of scale. Because since we move products at a very high volume, right,
Yeah.
our per product cost comes down, right? Like delivery charges are very, very low, right? Very, very minuscule, right? So that in a nutshell we do it, right? For example, earlier again issue was price competitiveness. Someone sitting in Nanded or someone sitting in a small city like Jabalpur or someone sitting in a small city like you could say Baramati, right? Would not know कि what is the actual price of this product, right? They would know कि उसके स्टेट में या फिर उसके लोकल एरिया में कितने में मिलता है, right? They don't know the sourcing price. They don't know what is the big scale or what are the new freshness, what are the product that he could sell, right? For example, he's probably going into Surat and buying anything from Surat, right? He doesn't know the same product is being prepared at a lesser price, far lesser price in Calcutta. Got my example? Just give you a simple example. Don't take it verbatim, right? So that's what you do, right? The price competitiveness, we are opening the market for him, and most importantly, the products. Earlier, he didn't know he had access to these markets. And the trust. For example, give you an example. If I am sitting in, let's just say Delhi, and I order something from Chennai, from a retailer that I do not know, this is a big risk, right? He may take my money
Yeah.
and send inferior goods and don't take returns.
Yeah.
Or he may do something like that. I send money to him and then he escapes. I don't have that much time. I'll go there, put an FIR in Chennai and run away, right?
Yeah.
We also give a problem that we are here. For example, if some issues happen, we are here for the returns. If something, we are here for the refund. So we even give insurance, right? Apart from the credit.
Interesting. So it's like there are many things to one company. First is like connecting the manufacturers to the platform. Second is
Yes.
connecting to the buyers to the platform.
Yes.
Third is handling the logistics
Yes.
and also handling the
Fourth is
finance.
credit.
Fourth is credit for the people. So these are all the verticals in the business,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, exciting. And now let's come to what you exactly do in Udaan, because I think that is very exciting.
Yeah. So if I talk about myself, so I joined Udaan. When I joined Udaan, I was working in the menswear division, right? I looked after a few states, right, in Northwest India, Delhi, Punjab, Rajasthan, Haryana, and Gujarat. Right? So I had a two-tier team, right? My role was a mixture of strategy plus sales. It's like more of a strategy, right? Because I have field team which does sales, right? So it's like penetrating the markets, right? When I joined, we had scaled to a lot of it. I joined after it was a unicorn, right? So I was not a very early employee of them. I joined after, but to take it to the next level, right? I was part of the team, right? So mainly work for the team would go to retailers, right? To work, right? Already, whichever buyers are there, right? To make them transact more. For example, someone is transacting 5,000 rupees, make it 10,000, right? Existing. And secondly is onboarding new shops. going to visiting the retailers, right, physically, and telling them, right, ki this is the product that we offer, so please try our platform. This is the credit facilities that we give, the logistics facilities that we give, right? So that's what in a restaurant might do. So it's like it also depends on which cities to open, where hiring, right? Hiring was the important part, right? Which hiring sales agents in which cities, right? And most importantly, another part like cross collaborate with the supply team, which brands we want, right? For example, in India, it's often said that in 200 kilometers, everything changes. The food habits changes, the lifestyle change. And I was in the lifestyle division, right? So if you see what people are wearing in Rajasthan will be very different than what people are wearing in, Gujarat or in Maharashtra or in Haryana, right? So it was like, city wise or state wise, what are the specific brand requirements, which brands people want, what price range people want, right? What is the fabric quality that they want, right? For example, weather, right? In Rajasthan and Gujarat, the trade that I handle, right? It has very severe both winters and summers, right?
Yeah.
So the cotton fabric that will work there, right? So you have to find out on a very local scale, right? People who visit the market, they would generate insights, right? And then we will have meeting with the supply team, tell them this is the things that I want, right? The credit requirement, right? See, credit is a big issue, right? Because in credit you cannot give credit to everyone, right? Because people may not refund your credit, right?
Yeah.
So there are automated machine systems, right, which work on the same, but again based on the field team inputs, right? The buyer credit worthiness, we check it, right? So that's in a nutshell, right? Determining in a very, so what I'll do, I'll just emphasize in 3 short lines, right?
Okay.
My work was firstly hiring and deciding which cities we want to penetrate more or which city we want to launch. Secondly was training them and making them physically visit the shops. And third thing was solving for supply, pricing and credit. It looks like a 3 thing, right? But it is like it's a very difficult job. A lot of people work over the same, right? But that's in a nutshell. So I worked on it for 1 year, right? In last year in May 2020, right? After 1 year, right? I earlier was working in menswear, right? Now I work in an entire lifestyle. It contains of men's, women's, kids, home furnishing, footwear, and fabric, right?
Okay.
So that is my portfolio now in which I work, right? I'm going to look after the Karnataka region for the same, right? So that's it. I have some 70-member sales team, right? 2-tiered, which reports to me, and that's in a nutshell.
What do you exactly mean by 2-tiered team?
2-tier is like I have a set of TLs, right? Territory leads, regional leads who report to me, right? And the business development executives report to them. 2-tier is like it's like
Got it.
pyramid.
Got it. Exciting. This is very exciting. And so now you manage 80 people team, so you must have I would say that you must have so many team management skills as well. You might have collected some insights from whatever your job experience has. So can you share that, like what is it to manage a 80 people 70 people team?
See, I do not have a very big career, right? I managed team for just 2-3 years, right? So I will probably not be the right person, but I'll just share, right, what my learnings have been, right? You must have seen that I have always used 80% people are rational, right? In a lot of it. See, that's my life theory, right? I always think, even my investment goes like this, right? I believe generally people are rational, right? And rational people, you just need to direct it, right? You don't need to, see, leader is not like do this, do that, right? It's like you ask them what they want to do, right? Everyone has their personal style of doing, right? Some people, work in aggression, some people work in passiveness, some people take their time, right? Some people will not be forming 1 to 3 months, but from 4 months they'll give you an EQ power X growth, right? So it depends. Every individual is distributed. Generally, what my managers, right, have always told me, right, which I use in my philosophies, right? There's no one right way. If something is working for someone, it may not for others, right? So it's like talking to them regularly, not daily. You cannot talk to 80 people
Obviously,
team daily,
yeah.
but you can talk on a weekly basis or bi-weekly basis, whatever, right? Talk to them, ask them what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, what you can do to help them. See, everyone knows their own target, everyone knows their own KPI. You don't need to reiterate it, right, or repeating it. Your work is to ask them what more support you can do. Some of those supports are feasible, some of those are not feasible, right? Whatever is feasible, do it. Whatever is not feasible, make a plan for it. What is an alternate route for it, right? And because as a leader, you have to be a very active listener, because as a leader, right, you have to find out what actually, like I talked about, sometimes client will say something that he actually doesn't want. The same thing goes with the team, right? They will say something that they may not actually want, or that may not be very much beneficial for them. They think now it's working, but probably I know 2 months down the line this scheme will fail. Right? to make them realize, have a talk and have an extraordinary listening skills, right?
Hmm.
Patience is a keyword here. Patience is not, see, a lot of people think patience is like tolerating poor performance. Patience is not tolerating poor performance. Patience is like giving a full ability to yourself as well as other to listen to him, right? And give him time to run the projects, right? For example, someone said, okay, I wanted to do these things, right? Give him 2-3 days, 4 days, right? Don't be like this. You gave him a project at 11 a.m. and then you are calling him at 4 p.m. and saying, यार क्या हुआ था, project तो fail हो गया, मैंने तो पहले ही बोला था, right? Don't do things like this, right? People start to uh, lose their, what you could say, experimental edge, right? Instead of me using my brain and thinking I am an Einstein, right? Instead of, why not I use 80 people's cumulative brain power? Everyone runs their own project, right? Obviously, it has to be in sync. It cannot like everyone running here and there. I can set a direction. It is a direction. You cannot go out of that. But you can think and you can execute your own project, right? It even helps you in grooming the next set of leaderships. Because until that set is groomed, you cannot go to the next level.
Yes. Exciting, very exciting. So, like, if I summarize, according to my understanding, if you are an engineer and if you are having an engineering job, because I'm an engineer, so I have like set of rules, because I can use them and I can create something out of it. I can work on product, I can build new features, I can do something like that. But job role, particularly like yours, is not bound to rules. It is bound to say certain principles, that be good listener, to be a good leader, right? And upon, like, everything above this is just what you build and how you are good with people, right? And that is, even if like engineers decide to go into leadership role, they'll have to inculcate these skills to be active listener, to run a good team. Am I getting it right?
Yeah, it's true.
Exciting, interesting. So, like, this is, I can go on and on for like digging deep into what exactly, because even if you say that you just have 2-3 years of experience, in my opinion it is like a great experience, because I have none, right? I have no experience of running a team, but running an 80 people team seems to be very exciting. Do you feel that your job, like, I feel that you are very passionate about your job, because you seems to be passionate to me. So do you think that how exciting is job for you? What excites you most in this job particularly?
See, one of the key things is, right, see, I like to experiment, right? Since I came in Udan, right, from my first assignment, right, I always like to do things in my own way, right? It is, the personality that I have, right? It's very difficult for me to, adjust to a certain set of rules, right? It's not like that I like to break rules, but it's like, until I'm very much convinced, right, I don't go in an idea, right? I ask a lot of questions to my managers, my leaders, right? I ask a lot of questions. I always have a lot of, here I can run my projects, right? Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. It's fine. But even if they don't, I have a set of learning, right? Nobody, stops me from experimenting, right? If tomorrow I go to my manager and says, this is what I want to do, right? My manager will listen to me, he'll give me 1 or 2 inputs, and then he'll say, see, in the end, it's your team, in the end, it's your revenue numbers, in the end, it's your strategy, right? You do it, even if you fail, no issues, right? But even if you're doing, right, do it with conviction. You just do it for the sake of experimenting, right? One of the key things that I have learned is that a lot of people just want to do innovate for the heck of innovation. Even they don't have any belief in their project, but it's like, यार दुनिया innovate कर रही है तो मुझे भी करना है, right? So don't be something like that. Here I can get experiment. Some of experiments have failed also, right? I thought this will work, but it didn't, right? But it gives me a chance to try again, right? Learn from my mistakes and try again, right? And about passion of my job, I'll tell you just one thing, right? You talk about that engineering and MBA, right? So I come from a family where nearly everyone in my family is either in defense or it's in government job, right? And that's what I even wanted to become, right? Even till my 3rd year of engineering, right? I wanted to, either join a PSU or become a government servant, right? Like my father, right? So that I wanted to, but in 3rd year, I met some of the alums from my college, right? Who were from IIMs, right? And then I talked about what they do for their living. They came in, some alumni connect, right? And that's when I first talked about, then I, researched about it, right? And then I thought that bureaucracy and government jobs, right? That's something that you cannot experiment, right? I may be right or wrong. I think my father will massively disagree with me, right? I hope he doesn't listen to this. But it's like, that's a place where I could not experiment. And I talked to a lot of people even in government jobs, right? How your things go, right? So that is it. If you want to experiment, probably that's the right thing, right? I want to experiment a lot. I want to learn. I want to, fail. I want to win. But actually, when I sleep at night, I have a happiness in my mind, right? I tried this. At least I did what I wanted to do, right? If I think we can go in this way, right, for a particular project, I am allowed to do it here, right? So like talked about I look passionate to you. See, that is the reason, right? If your job doesn't excite you to wake up on Monday, if you hate Mondays, my suggestion to everyone who's listening here, right, who's just starting the career, you change it, right? It has happened with me, right? Even in one of my jobs, right? I was not very passionate, right? So I talked to my manager that if you are not willing to, come again on Monday, right? You should not, like, see, job is a very small impact of life, a very
Yeah.
small part of life. Life is far bigger, right? I
Definitely.
don't know how many people, even I think like this, money is everything, right?
Yeah.
But it's not, it's actually not, right? It's a part of life, right? So if your job is impacting your life, you are hating Mondays, right? You feel nauseated since Saturday evening, right? So it's not a thing. There are a lot of things to do, right? Find something, right? Finding your passion should be your key KPI. Mine was experimenting, right? I always experiment. It was like something, right? So it was like even in my school days, right? I always, I was a big fan of mathematics, right? The only subject that I ever liked. I hated humanities, right? I never liked it, right? No disrespect, right? I hated them, right?
Yeah.
English and these subjects like this, right? I never liked it. Moral science, right? So it was like I hated it. I was always fighting with my teachers. Why are we being taught this, right? They have no tangible value at that time, right? So even in that, I always, found out another ways, right, of doing a math problem, right? My teacher was always like, तुम इस तरीके से तुम इससे क्यों करते हो? Even they cut my numbers because school में होता है ना, तुम्हें step भी रखना होता है. I was like कि but then when I grew up in engineering, I found out that this is something which makes me, going in another way, right? So that makes me passionate, right? I make mistakes, yeah, right? Not like I am a genius at my work, right? But at least I'm happy, innovating. I have that mental satisfaction. Na?
Yeah.
I never have this कि अगर ऐसा कर लेता तो ऐसा होता. कर लिया, it works good, यार. I get the plaudits. If not, I get the learnings.
So like you have freedom in your job, you get to
Yeah,
implement your ideas,
absolutely,
and that is a
absolutely.
brilliant thing to have in a job. Exciting, really awesome. So now let's that was a great insight into Udan, Oyo, and Decathlon as well. So now let's move back a little in your career and talk about engineering and then MBA. You did MBA, and like what was your experience in engineering? Does it help you? Like engineering is, in my opinion, engineering you develop a mindset, and that is far more important than anything else. So what is your opinion, how, even if you are now working in a very different role than your engineering branch or whatever you studied in engineering, how it has helped you now, or like is there any connection between that?
I think I believe my engineering education, has played a big role, right, in whatever success that I have ever got. Success or work, I'm not using the word success, but give me an analytical bend of mind, right? It's like in engineering, right? The interaction with numbers and logics, right? It helps me, see, in Udan we see a lot of data, right?
Yeah.
We have analysts who prepare reports, and even we see a lot of data, right? It helps me identifying patterns. That's one of the key things, right? Seasonality patterns, right? Or whatever type of patterns, right? I think engineering played a big role. I was not a great engineer, right? I was not one of those people who get 9 pointers, right? My marks were very average in engineering, right? I was one of those people who just wanted to pass, right? I believed कि कोई वो ही नहीं है, because see, I told you ना, I wanted to become a government वो, right? तो मेरा ये था कि 4 years पूरे हो जाएं, मैं government job, I'll get it, right? डिग्री का क्या करना है कि 65% पे आप eligible हो जाते हो, that's enough for me, right? उससे 10% ज़्यादा ले आओ, enough for me, right? I was like one of those mindset. But that engineering mindset, like you talked about, right? And also like I talked about that I like talking to people, right? I was a very shy person in my school. Engineering even brought out that side of me, right? Where I started to interact with people, organizing events, doing things, right? Being part of fundraisers and that event sponsorships, right?
Yes.
That is a key part, right? When I love talking to people. I love listening. In school, I was very reclusive type of person. Not yeah, reclusive is the right word, right? I didn't talk to a lot of people. So engineering, helped me, right? I talked about it. It helps in patterns, right? I could see that I could recognize patterns more than a lot of people, right? That I work with, right? In my college and everything, in MBA, I even observed this, right? So engineering played a key part, right? It took the MBA part took, like I told you, after third year, right? It was never in my team plans, right? I just prepared for what you could say CAT for somewhere around 3-4 months, I think, max. I'm not wrong, right? And again, that CAT, right? The CAT, another MBA entrance examination, right? That engineering mathematical skills, right? They again came in handy there, right? So I think yeah, engineering played a very positive role, right? Especially when identifying pattern, right? And secondly, making me a person who I am, right? Making me an extrovert. I would say myself now I'm extrovert, right?
Yeah.
For example, a lot of people who come, right? I'm the first one to go there and shake their hands. How are you? Right? Earlier, I was one of those people कि ये आएगा मुझसे बोलेगा, right? ये मुझसे बात नहीं करता, मैं भी इसको क्यों बोलूँ? Because I'm one of those people कि यार इसका ego है तो मेरा इससे 1% ज़्यादा है, right? I was one of those people in schools, right? Engineering taught me that that's a wrong way of life.
Exciting. So it's like most of the people I have seen in my circle that they blame that अरे engineering नहीं करना चाहिए था, engineering is not good and all. It's not like that. You enjoy engineering not because what you study, but because what you become out of it. So that is my opinion. People may have different opinion, but I really like your story. So when was the point that you decided that Abhi, let's prepare for MBA? Was it meeting the alumni from
Yes.
other colleges or?
So, see, like you talked about, right? See, one of the key things, right, when you sent me an invitation to talk about, right, I was really excited, right, because I think you're doing a great job, right? See, a lot of people just go there, right? If I'll just give a simple example. Even when I just went into MBA, even I wanted to be an IB. I wanted to also be an investment banker, right? But had I been an investment banker, right, I would not have been happy, right?
Yeah.
I have privilege that I got people, the mentors, the alums, right? Yeah, I literally from my alums I asked them कि आप पूरे दिन क्या करते हो? सुबह 9 बजे से मुझे रात का 9 बजे बताओ. People don't ask them.
Yeah.
People just ask them कि तुम कहाँ रहते हो?
हाँ.
अरे मैं मुंबई साउथ में रहता हूँ, मैं छुट्टी दुबई में बनाता हूँ, मेरा ऑफिस की जो 4 मीटिंग होती है लंदन में होती हैं. People like it. अरे that is not a way of right? After MBA generally you get that much money you can go wherever you want, right? That's not a key KPI, right? The key KPI is what you do daily. Monday to Friday क्या करते हो वो आपकी लाइफ को बनाता है, not what you do on 3 weekends, right? It doesn't matter. So you ask them, ask everyone कि operations में आप क्या करते हो, sales में क्या करते हो, marketing, IB people told me they work for crazy type amount of hours, right? I am one of those people that job is a part of my life.
Yeah.
Even if you pay me 1 crore rupees, I'll not be very happy, right? Because I'll be like I can't clock 18 hours a day, right?
Yeah.
So just try and talk to people and actually try and talk to people, not just ask oh you are working MBA, oh क्या करते हो, oh strategy role है, अरे strategy role क्या होता है? Ask them कि सुबह 10 से शाम के 7 तक क्या करते हैं? I asked those people, right? And when compared it with the government life that I would have got in that segment, right? I got a simple answer. भाई मेरे 7 दिन ऐसे निकलेंगे यहाँ पे, 7 दिन ऐसे निकलेंगे, and the choice was clear. So it was like talking to people and talking into deep. Not going through titles. सर टाइटल क्या है, कितने साल में प्रमोशन हो जाता है, CTC कितना मिलता है, कौन सी कंपनी में ज़्यादा पे मिलता है. There are a lot of offers that I got, right, which was like crazily paying, right, but it didn't act in my experimentation thing or it like my life philosophy, right. I'm far more happy and I've seen a lot of my friends who went there, right, they left their jobs in 5 months.
Yeah.
See, saying it easy ना कि पैसे के लिए सहन कर लेंगे, saying is very easy. After 3 months ना doing it regularly is a very difficult thing. Right. So like you talked about, you're saying कि people say कि engineering नहीं करनी चाहिए, right? या फिर DU नहीं जाना चाहिए, या फिर ऐसे काफी stereotypes है ना, arts नहीं लेना चाहिए, ये नहीं लेना चाहिए. अरे I am asking you, before you made the stereotype, do you even know what arts people do?
Yes.
Do you even know कि DU से Bachelor of Arts करने के बाद आप कहाँ जाते हो, right? इंडिया के अधिकतर IAS वहाँ से बनते हैं, and you are saying कि भाई आर्ट्स नहीं करना चाहिए, right? So मतलब I am saying you have a right to criticize people.
Yeah.
You have a right to criticize segments. But not before you know what they actually do.
Exactly. Yeah. I loved your answer, man. I love that you told one very key metrics for anyone listening to this podcast, that if you are confused about what path to take in your career, go and ask people ki what is your daily day looks like, what do you do, and what is exciting problems you work on. And I think that should give you a very clear idea. I loved your answer, and this is like if there is up till now, if there is a major takeaway from this entire podcast, this should be it, that go and ask people what is their daily routine like, and you will know what exactly they do and will you like that. And so that's just the aim of this podcast, and I am really glad that you came up, you told me this answer, because this is also something I try to talk to people, but I want to it is good for everyone if they try to talk to people and ask genuine questions कि मेरे को बताओ कैसा दिन होता है आपका, मेरे को, and I loved your answer definitely. Yeah, I just want to ask how has your pandemic affected your job? How things have changed, and now, like, is it possible to work from home for you, or do you have to be actively present with the teams, or how's it like?
Yeah, from the day the lockdown started, right, we have been working into a work from home meet, right. Generally, we are using Zoom calls and other hangouts, right.
Yeah.
So it's working, right. But I miss the office environment, right. Like I like talking to people, right. So I think that has impacted me, right. I've been crazily, waiting for my office to reopen, right? I think probably it will open in a few days, right? So that I miss. I even miss, visiting buyers, right? So I visited buyers, right? The 2 tier sales team that I have that we visited, even I went and see the buyers, right? See, because not every time your team will show you the right path, right? And it's not just in negative way, right? It's like they may show you things that are rosy, right? They may be suffering somewhere, but they will show you a rosy story, right? When you actually go and see, find out if there are any issues that is bugging them, right? That is the part that I miss, right? Because that field ops have stopped, my travels have been curtailed, right? But I'm actually bored. If you ask me, I'm like crazily bored. I enjoyed the office meetings, the chai breaks, and everything, right?
Yeah.
One of the key learnings, right, from cross collaborations, right? Now it's like at least in the office. See, if you see Udan's office, I don't know if you've seen. It's very open, right? There are no cubicles or something. They're just meeting rooms. Otherwise, everyone sits in a very open office, right? So across the team, you will probably see a brand marketing team sitting or a logistics team. You can ask him what's happening, right? What's happening in your division, right? There's a private label team. So Udan had launched last year their own private labels in lifestyle, right? And also in so it's like there's like a private label team. So there was a lot of learning, right? That learning has curtailed a bit, right? Because face-to-face interactions can never break on, right? Zoom interaction, right? It's
Definitely.
crazily different. So that's how it's gone. The work is going on, that work from home, right? Let's hope the pandemic passes by and
The
back to
team
normal.
which were actually on the field, they had to stop for a bit, or what?
Yeah,
was it
yeah.
like?
So it was based on, so it's like it was based on the districts, right, or the cities wherever you are operating, based on the local guidelines, right? So when the lockdown was there, they were not in the field, right? But when the city wise or district wise or area wise, right, the lockdowns went started. So wherever possible, they were moving in their local directions.
How much has MBA helped you in your current job or in your all the jobs that you had? So how has like what are key things that you learned in MBA in terms of academics as well, and apart from academics, the skills you developed? So what are those things?
Yeah, see, the biggest opportunity that MBS has given me, right? It has given me opportunity, right? Because see, one of the key things when people talk about MBS learning is that what is a networking, right?
Yeah.
Around whatever your batch size may be, right? You will find around 100 to 200 people, right? Who will be your career partners, right? For the next decade, right? In different companies, in different domains, right? It opens a lot of opportunities, right? See, you get calls from a lot of people, you get opportunities for interviews, something like that. And if you talk about MBA, right, the key skill is selling, right? See, when you talk about MBA, it looks like this, like, yeah, selling कैसे सिखा सकते हैं? Even I thought this when I was weighing, क्या selling कैसे सिखा सकते हैं? चलो finance operations तो ठीक है, selling कैसे सिखा सकते हैं? यार, actually you can do it, right? There are certain companies, right, which have curated programs for them, right? Companies to your sales team, right? You do it and you can see कि आपके performance में improvement आ रहा है. Certain words that you say, certain things that you say, certain techniques that you use, right? Closing techniques, right? So it helps them, right? And another is like, talking, and it also, made me open to a vast array of opportunities, right? For example, it made me realize कि यार कि बचपन से जो मैंने 10 जॉब सुने थे उसके अलावा भी 120 जॉब्स होते हैं, right? It made me realize, right? And most important thing that MBA gave me, right, it's a risk-taking ability.
Yeah.
If tomorrow I have a idea, right? Let's just say if tomorrow I don't have now, but if I have an idea and I think I want to start up, right? MBA gives me that financial backing. If I go in there after 1 or 2 years, if it fails, right, my degree will give to me a well-paying job. You got my point? It makes me more risk averse and more, what you could say, an ability to chase my dreams, if there are, right? So that was taught, right? And and also one of the key things that MBA taught me is, right, how to work after sleeping only 3 hours. So I think earlier I was a very lousy couch potato and I slept for 12 to 14 hours during my engineering days, right? I would just go to my college, do the classes, get the minimum attendance, and then come back to hostel and sleep, right? So that is like, so that are some of the key wins. I see MBA is more about experience. It's not somebody will take a class board and write things, right? कि ये लो भाई note कर लो. Nobody notes, it's experiences, right? Like why Nanofib? इंडिया जिसको पूरी दुनिया बोलती है कि प्राइस सेंसिटिव मार्केट है, प्राइस सेंसिटिव मार्केट है, अरे प्राइस इसकी है, कार कम कर दिया, टाटा का प्रोडक्ट है तो वो इन्फीरियर भी नहीं हो सकता, क्वालिटी का बेंचमार्क है. व्हाई इट फेल्ड बिकॉज इंडिया में लोग कार पड़ोसी को दिखाने के लिए लेते हैं कि मैंने कार ले ली. तुमने 1 लाख की कार लिया, पड़ोसी आके सबसे पहले कमेंट कर देगा तुमने 1 लाख की कार ले लिया. यू गॉट माय पॉइंट ना? दैट इज एन एक्सपीरियंस, राइट? एंड दैट्स वन एग्जांपल. देयर आर एवरी टाइम देयर आर लॉट ऑफ केस स्टडीज टीच पीपल लाइक यू कि प्रोडक्ट सेम था, फाउंडिंग टीम सेम थी, स्ट्रेटजी सेम थी, डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर सेम थे, एक चल गया दूसरा नहीं चला.
Huh.
right? It also makes you open to visibility that sometimes everything can go right and still the product can fail, right? Like blue Pepsi. I don't know if you remember, I think you must be too young at that, but 2003 का World Cup में एक blue Pepsi आई थी,
I
blue
don't,
थी
I
वो
don't remember.
Pepsi.
I was very young.
You can just Google it around it, right? Blue Pepsi. So it's a good case study कि why blue Pepsi failed, right? There are a lot of failures, right? KFC and most important like the stories, जैसे KFC वाला है, I don't know if it's right or wrong, but मैंने ऐसा कुछ पढ़ा था कि 50 बार उसकी रेसिपी फेल हो गई या 100 बार, तब जाके KFC बना, right? It makes you realize कि see, I don't know, you must have heard it, right? कि life is unfair. कुछ भी गलत होता है तो लोग गले लगाते हैं, बोलते हैं life is unfair. It's truth यार, right? But life is unfair is a very, what you could say, half statement. Life is unfair, but also life is not always unfair. The only thing that you can do is keep doing the right things, right? Unfair की भी लिमिट है, वो 10, 20, 30% ही आ सकता है, वो 80% ही आ सकता है. You keep doing it, you keep trying doing the right thing, right? And you can beat that life is unfair, because see, life is unfair is a fact, but life is not always unfair is also a fact. So when you go like after, you know, like stories of people, you know, what are the hardship and fellowship, and also it made me realize that we don't appreciate what we have. People always like मेरे पे ये नहीं है. You should always see what you have. For example, if I see 5 years before the line, 2016 में, would I be happy if I am now? 2016 में मुझे ऑप्शन मिलता है कि मैं यहाँ पे हूँ, would I have been happy? Definitely I would have been, right? But if you compare it with me now, कि मैं 2021 में कहाँ happy, शायद वो थोड़ी reduce हो गई होगी, और मैं पढ़ना. So things like this, perspective, listening, experimentation, और वो एक जो engineering mindset था ना कि everything ऐसा answer, यार नहीं होता कुछ चीज़ों का आंसर, right? Sometimes you have to, you know, raise your hand and say मुझे नहीं पता, मुझे नहीं पता क्या हुआ, right? So that's how MBA.
Very very interesting answer, because many people have take that कि अभी MBA नहीं करना चाहिए, because lot of people are saying, the big entrepreneurs are saying कि MBA मत करो, ये करो, but it's not entirely true. Everything has a good part, a bad part, and you enjoy the good part, then do it. So that's this thing. Now I must ask, like you gave a brilliant answer that asks questions what your daily day looks like, entire routine looks like. So I have to ask you what your routine looks like now, and how is, like, you have changed many jobs, right? So how it has changed over the period of years, and what do you do, what problems do you solve exactly? Can you break it down for our audience?
Yes, see, I do not solve any problems, right? I am a very small part of a team which solves problem, right? I do not solve any problem. First thing I like to clarify. If you talk about the things that I have changed, right? From an individual contributor, my main work was meeting people, right? As an individual contributor, for example, the role at OYO, right? Meeting most people was my job, right? I would meet them, meetings, face-to-face meetings. Now my role has, you know, moved, right? Now it's like visiting markets, right? Sometimes, right? Sometimes visiting market, and mostly like cross collaboration calls. Data analysis, right? Seeing the data, I'll have a lot of data sheets, right? What worked right, what worked wrong, right? I have to find out patterns. I have to find out, you know, what are the anomalies, seasonal anomalies, which product is working, which categories are working, which categories are not working, right? Which buyers to give credit to, which buyers to not give credit to, which cities to launch, which cities to major focus on, right? So my majorly meetings, you know, go like this, you know, talking to people and seeing the data. A big part goes in, you know, analyzing the data, seeing the reports, right? The weekly, monthly, last 3 years reports, right? How the seasons went, pricing, comparing the pricing, right? Is the pricing good on the platform? Right? Do we have sellers? Is there any gap? For example, we are selling lifestyle, right? Let's just say we do not have any jeans in range of 450 to 480. So is there a price gap somewhere? Is there a design gap somewhere? Is there a supply gap? For example, let's just Surat ki sarees hain, but Calcutta ki sarees hi nahi hai. You know, things like this, right? So my main work is, right, see, a lot of these demands come from my teams. So there are, you know, specific, you know, demand mechanism where they give their own data. There are separate trackers which run, you know, based on the, you know, the systems that we have, right? Other cross collaborators, they will say कि हम ये नया design लाए, ये brand लाए, कुछ change करना है, right? Private level discussions, right? So if you ask about my schedule from 10 to 7, right, it's like June calls. I will say it's like a crazily truncated calendar, and it's June call, and one of the key asks is to see, I'll have a lot of meetings to find out which meetings to, you know, cross it. What are the priorities? The first half an hour of my day starts with what is my priority for today, 10 to 10:30, right? After the priority, it goes it, right? And then if I get some time, and not get, you have to make some time, I try to visit, right? And actually get some of the feedbacks which is independent of everyone. Now, so मेरी team है, ना उसमें data है, ना कुछ है. I personally meet some buyers, right? Or call them and ask them कि सर क्या चल रहा है? Is there any service lack? Is there any pricing lag? Are you satisfied? What more can we do, right? ठीक है. And there are a lot of cross, like I told, one the private brand team, there is a collections team, so they are all cross collaborative to me, right? Or since we are the demand, they are the cross collab, the supply team, right? So they would keep their inputs, right? कि क्या चाहिए brand में, ये बता दो, कोई supply चाहिए, something, ये बता दो. So my there is not a fixed schedule. It's just that Zoom calls, a lot of Zoom calls, and from whatever times that I can generate it, right? I try to visit markets and talk to some of my clients face to face, like you talked about, right? Ki some of the client facing roles, people don't like it, right? But now I yearn ki if I can get some time with my clients, right? Because they gave me data which is like totally unfiltered. Because actually all the strategies are being made for him or her na. एक्सेल में यूज करके 50 बना दिया, राइट? स्ट्रेटेजी उसको समझ में ही नहीं आया. He got bored. It's like, सर आपने इतना स्कीम बना दी, मुझे नहीं करना कैलकुलेशन, मैं महंगा खरीद लूंगा, I don't care. But no, that is like just one thing for everyone that I would say, right? Be it an engineer, be it guys, please have a very brilliant Excel skills. लाइफ में कुछ भी चलाना आए ना, you should have Excel, like crazy Excel skills, right? Excel will make your productivity go 3x 4x. All those patterns that I would have, all those anomalies. For example, I'll just give you an example, right? For example, I have a lifestyle portfolio, let's just say, right? My growth is, let's just say, 150%. I'll give you an example. But my women's wear growth is only 90%. It's not working. If you have exemplary Excel skills, you just get the data, you put 3-4 formula, you do it, you will get the insight. You will know कि कौन सा vertical नहीं बिक रहा है या कहाँ नहीं बिक रहा है, क्यों नहीं बिक रहा है. Anything you can put in all the go, right? Advanced Power BI tools and go, right? It's very easy. You can go to YouTube and learn it. You don't need to pay any money for everyone, right? It's very easy. But Excel will make your life difficult. Without Excel, your life will be very doomed. If you go into this.
So, like if you're dealing with data, definitely learn Excel, because
you have to deal with data, right? Because in the end, data is something. See, you cannot go into life with the qualitative attitude. You have to be quantitative ना. You are saying मेरी टीम बहुत काम करती है, but वो numbers ही नहीं दिखते. But that you have to show from data ना कि what is lacking, and data will tell you what is lacking. Product is lacking, marketing is lacking, distribution is lacking. What is lacking? Only data can tell you, right? Person to person कितने लोगों से बात करोगे?
Interesting. I really loved this podcast till now. Now I guess we are moving into the ending segments of the podcast, and we have decided that we'll definitely ask this one question to every guest on our podcast, that is, how do they manage their personal finance? What are the divisions? How do they invest, and where do they invest? What are the typical tools they use, mutual funds and all? So I would like to have answer from you as well.
So if you talk about my personal finance, right, I use a general tool, right? It's like of all the income, right, the net in hand salary that I get, right, I don't spend more than 25%, right? I save around 75%, and whatever is left with me, right, I divide it into, for example, 10% goes into the real estate thing, right? Around 10% goes into another fixed asset like gold or silver, right? And then mutual funds and share takes up a big portion out of 50, and then there are other financial, right? Something that I love, right, which I do not consider an investment, like bitcoins or NFT, something like that. So that I divide 20% is hard asset, real estate plus gold, 50% goes into mutual funds plus what is that, shares, right? And then rest in some other initiatives, right? And a bit of set in a savings account. That's how I go. I use Grow for it, right? Grow, I like the interface and everything. I also have a Zero to the account, but Grow, I like it, right? So Grow is something, and that's my personal. I'm not a great investor. I don't have wonderful what is that market share.
But you have maintained discipline across like 20%, 75% to save करना है.
Yeah, 25% मैं spend करता हूँ, मैं 75% I save it, right? Because you actually cannot have that system into play, right? See, I'm telling you, the personal finances is managed with your expenses. People ये ना कि मुझे बता दो कि कौन से mutual fund या share में डाल दूँ. It doesn't work like this. You optimize your finance. If you actually think that you cannot save it, right, get a second side hustle. If you think you actually cannot save money, right, you get a second side hustle, right? There are a lot of things, right? So you can freelance, you do for it. You have to increase that certain, right? You can either reduce your expenses, right, I'll give you a certain example, right? You go to a pub in Bangalore with 4 friends, you will get a bill of 5,000 rupees, right? That's 1,500 rupees a week, right?
Definitely.
That 6,000 rupees if you put in a mutual fund, right? The worst to worst mutual funds will give you 12 to 15% return. Just see a corpus that will generate after 15, right?
Yeah,
So it's just discipline, right? And I'll just do what I do. So the trick that has helped me, right? My father told me that the day my salary is credited, right? I take out that 75% and invest it at that moment. Now that 25 is left with me. Until and unless I have to run the month in that 25. If I did like I'll live like what you could say, no nightlife from 21 to 30. Sometimes that happened, right? But people are like कि सैलरी आया एक्सपेंस काटा अब मैं इन्वेस्ट करूंगा नहीं सैलरी आया इन्वेस्ट कर दो अब भाई इतना ही पैसा है अब चला लो तुम अपनी लाइफ जो तुम्हारी इच्छा है
how do you invest in real estate? What tools exactly do you use? You said real estate, right? You use
yeah so it's like I'm setting aside some money, right, for buying a house. That's it.
So like you consistently save money for putting into some
Yeah.
real estate. Okay, that is
Yes.
exciting. Good. Well, definitely. So like the final question, I think I have covered most of the topics, and the final question I want to ask is, what advice, like you have experienced engineering, you have experienced MBA, and you have experienced different job roles across different companies, startups, MNCs. So what advice would you give to a recent graduate or a person who is like maybe in a third year or fourth year of engineering, and what would you tell them? How do they propel their career? How do also they learn new stuff, keep on experimenting, and like any general advice do you want to give in terms of learning, in terms of job, in terms of growth, in terms of team management?
See, I'll just give a single advice, right, to people, right? See, use a 5-step strategy. First step, like, see, talk to a lot of people. People generally help. Talk to a lot of, don't be shy. Call your alums, WhatsApp them, not WhatsApp them, LinkedIn them, Facebook them, whatever, just a platform pe ho. Sir, aap thoda time on Saturday. A lot of people, ping me, right? And I am not able to give it to everyone, but most of I give it, right? You ask them how their day is like. First, try to find out what you actually want to do. That's the most important thing, right? Once you find out what you actually want to do, then you find out that niche alum. For example, someone say I want to do an MBA, or someone say I want to become a government alum. Find out जो already कर चुके हैं, what they did, right? Take a guidance, and again make it a guidance. Do not blindly copy it. जैसे वो बोलते हैं कि मैं 8 घंटे पढ़ता था, right? But let's just say कि your recognition speed is not as good as them, तो तुम्हें 10 घंटे पढ़ना पड़ेगा, और it can be 6 hours. Let's just say your grasping speed is more, right? Just find out कि ये चीज़ उन्होंने की थी. It's the easiest thing, right? If you want to go somewhere, the easiest thing of plan is copy what already people who have done there have done it, right? Copy it. Don't ideally copy it like a monkey, but copy it like what you could say as a guiding framework. Do that guiding framework, right? And experiment. 10% of time, experiment and enjoy your weekends. A lot of people say, right, enjoy your weekends. See, a lot of people are there who do side hustle, right? But most of those people are who enjoy their side hustle. Don't do your side hustle on weekends if you don't enjoy it. If you enjoy it, then only do it, right? Otherwise, you will burn off.
Yeah.
Not now, but 6 months, 7 months, 10 years, 12 months down the line, right? So just talk to a lot of people, find out what you love, then talk to special people, right, who have already done it. Make a kind of friend, follow it like crazily, religiously, right? And success most often than not will be yours.
One last question. One last question, that do you do something apart from your job? Like, do you have any personal interests that you pursue? I saw a podcast on your LinkedIn page. Like, can you talk about it?
Yeah, so it's not my podcast. It's actually a British podcast, right? It goes by the name Cricket Badger, right? So it's a cricket-related, podcast, right? So I work with them when the IPL is going on, right? So it's like I'm a fan of Rajasthan Royals, right? So it's like on all the days that they play, right? Then I discuss with the podcast host on the same, right? So it's not my podcast. I work as a guest, speaker. It's just only during the IPL season.
And apart from that, like, do you like to travel? Where do you spend your money for yourself? Like,
yeah, for me, if I would say, see, I like upskilling myself a lot, right? It's like I try to, see, recently I have been, learning, how to, write new works. I've been trying to find out how writers, start their projects, right? It's nothing that I want to do in my life, but it's like something grab of my imagination. So I keep a diary, right? Online diary, right? I noted whatever idea comes in my mind, and sometimes over the weekend, right, I start to do it, right? I also every 3 months I try to upskill myself, right? Like that Excel part, right? I did it 2 years before, right? Crypto I also did 2 years before, right? Recently I have been trying to engage with some first time founders, right? Just to find out what are the key issues that they are facing, right? So I interact with them most of my Saturdays, Sundays, go in interacting with them, right? That's it. Traveling, I am like one of those people who would like to claim that you are a traveler, right? But I get nauseated a lot. I have that motion sickness, right? So that's an issue. But every 3 months I try to spend some quality time alone with either me or with my friends, right? Either in mountains or in beaches. But I'm not an avid traveler. I'm not someone who has visited a lot of places.
So I think I had a great time talking to you and talking about various subjects. And I feel I have so much more to ask that I will book your time some other day and I'll ask you deeper into this people skills because and then I'll tell you that what exactly I'm facing the problem and where I want to go and maybe you can help. So I would like to have a deeper conversation into those topics. So I would definitely book your time for that. And thank you for coming and thank you for giving so much valuable lessons. I really enjoyed the podcast and it like I personally gained so much from this podcast. And definitely our viewers also will learn something really valuable, and especially the point that talk to people, ask them their daily routine, then this you will get a better idea. I loved that answer and thank you for coming.
Thank you so much, man. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah.